So coming into the NBA season, many people figured the Brooklyn Nets would finally be back in contention. Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons all were finally healthy and ready to play all at once, but they fooled us all once again, and they have so many problems that this season is becoming a complete disaster. I'm gonna try to stick to talking about just basketball as best as I can in this video, because I know there's been so much stuff going on with Kyrie, and I want to stay as neutral as I can. I've always been a huge Kyrie fan, but I will say, whatever happened to him in 2018 completely changed him, and ever since he decided to part ways with LeBron, the best word I can use to describe him is interesting. In this video, as you can already tell, I'm going to be talking all about the Brooklyn Nets and all about the drama that has been going on. Anyways, now since the NBA season is finally here and in full swing, I'm going to be pumping out so much content, and I would really appreciate all of your support. It takes only 5 seconds to like and subscribe, plus you can always change your mind. I'm now on the road to 7K subscribers, and I know you all can help me get there very fast. And by the way, thank you all for getting me past 6K, it truly means the world, and we are just growing super fast right now. So as most of you guys know that watch the NBA even just a little bit, the Nets are in a really big pickle right now, and it's going to be tough for them to climb out of it. We recently all just heard the news that the Nets will be suspending Kyrie Irving. At the time of this recording, I don't know how long it's going to be, but the Nets just can't afford this. They already lost their head coach a few days ago, if you even want to call him a coach, because to be honest, Nash never really did anything to help Brooklyn win. He never made in-game adjustments. Honestly, Nash getting fired might have been one positive thing for them that came out of this week. The Nets are 2-6, and I don't see any way they turn this around with the current dysfunctional roster that they have. The first problem I see that the Nets have is a pretty obvious one, and it's the same problem that the Lakers have. Their problem is that they build a roster around a big three, and that big three is starting to get older, and when all the load is on their shoulders and they have no help around them, this is usually the result that we see. Kevin Durant is still playing like an MVP as of right now, but he's the only bright spot on this team, and as a reminder to you all, KD is 34 years old, and he's starting to physically head out of his prime. He's always going to be an elite scorer, but when you surround him with literally nobody, you're not going to win a lot of games. I think the Nets should have just started to rebuild last year. They really screwed themselves in that James Harden trade when they gave away Jared Allen and then eventually Karis LeVert to the Pacers. It may not have seemed like it at the time, but moves like that are costly. But also, I understand the win now mentality the Nets had, where they saw the opportunity to trade for another superstar, so they took it. But anyways, what I was getting at is that the Nets are paying Kevin Durant $44 million, Kyrie is making $37 million, and Ben Simmons is making about $35 million, which is just a complete robbery. And on top of that, Joe Harris is also making another $18, so basically the Nets have no room to get any depth around their stars, and they don't have draft picks to do it either, so they gave themselves a very high chance for failure. That's why personally, I am a fan of building up teams the right way through the draft, and then eventually getting a star to put the team over the top. Anyways, getting back on track to what this video is about, the Nets will now be without Kyrie for most likely a few weeks, and Ben Simmons has looked like an almost nobody on the offensive end. It's pretty much all up to KD again to save this team, and there is just no way it's gonna happen. Ben Simmons has just been a huge disappointment, and ever since that Hawks series in Philly where he passed up that wide open layup, he has just lost all confidence, and it's kinda sad to see. It's sort of like what happened to Russell Westbrook, and now he's getting made fun of again by tons of fans, which doesn't help anything. Anyways, the recent rumors I've heard is that the Nets are finalizing a deal with last year's Celtics head coach Ime Udoka, and that adds even more drama to an already drama-filled organization. Now don't get me wrong, Ime Udoka is a great head coach, he's a great leader, but the things that happened behind the scenes last year that we all know of is just gonna be weird. Hopefully Udoka can actually be the leader this team needs, because right now there just isn't one, and things are all over the place. Players like Kyrie weren't being held accountable, Ben Simmons wasn't helping at all, and like I said, the word I like to use for them is dysfunctional. I think the best thing this team could do is blow things up and start over. I don't see any possibility of a championship with this roster anytime soon. I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but I just don't understand why so many people are content with keeping all-stars around just to be a first-round exit. I'd rather just start over and build something new, and the great thing is, they could start with a generational prospect like Scottie Barnes in a Durant trade. Maybe the Nets can somehow pull off a miracle and get everyone to play better, but to me, it all has to start with Ben Simmons and Kyrie getting his act together. Simmons just needs to have a game where he takes over 15 shots, and even if he misses all of them, that's perfectly okay. He just needs to stop playing with fear. The Nets also need to step it up defensively because they give up over 120 points on a nightly basis, and that also starts with Ben Simmons. Ben may just be washed, but he's getting paid $35 million and needs to start acting like it, or else he's gonna get traded. But honestly, I don't see what team in their right mind would want to give up anything to take on his contract. I know I've been repeating myself a lot, but again, when the Nets decided to rely on all superstars and put no depth around them, they screwed themselves. Jared Allen has developed into an all-star, and he is an absolute stud on the defensive end that the Nets need right now. Karis LeVert is also a guy who can get 20 points per night whenever he wants to, and along with that, he also plays great defense. And that's why the Cleveland Cavaliers have one of the best defenses in the league right now. It's pretty much now or never for the Nets to do something, and it looks like they're just going to ride this out. And it's funny how heavily favored they were in the betting odds to win a championship this year. They already had to waste a season of everyone's prime with Kyrie sitting out because he wouldn't get the shot, and now he's still being like that in other ways, and it's just created a big mess for this franchise, and they have no drive to get out of it. That's all I have to say in this video. There's just been so much craziness going on in the NBA so far, and I love it. I'm sorry for completely bashing this team if you're a Nets fan, but they just deserved it. I covered a lot, and obviously there's still so much more to talk about. I'm going to continue to pump out as much content as possible, so I would really appreciate it if you would join me for the ride. I'm on the road to 7K subscribers, and I believe you all can help me get there. Also, one more thing, make sure to comment below what you want to see next. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all later.